All right, welcome back. You're still watching Daybreak on this 30th day of September 2025. In studio, I have Robert Mbui, Member of Parliament for Kathiani constituency. He's also the Deputy Minority Leader at the National Assembly. Good morning, Mheshimiwa.
Good morning, Sam, and morning, viewers.
Mark Nyamita is the Member of Parliament for Uriri constituency. Good morning.
Good morning, Sam.
Right, you have the apologies of Jeremiah Kioni, who is the Secretary General of the Jubilee Party. He is unable to make it this morning. We're also waiting for the arrival of Patrick Munene, the Member of Parliament for Chuka, Igamba Ngombe constituency in Tharaka Nithi County, and also the Vice Chairperson of the Health Committee. Should he make it, we will bring him on board. But for now, I want us to have a conversation. By the way, Mheshimiwa Nyamita, where have you been? I have not seen you in a few...
Some have been around, but you know, now I focus in Nairobi and also on the ground. And because I'm trying to expand my territory within the larger county, so that's why. But I'm serving the people.
You're expanding your territories. What does that mean?
That I'm trying to see if I can spread my tentacles beyond my constituency to the county level. So then it means I spend a bit more time in the county.
Why would that be important?
It's in the service of people. You know, we are public servants.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm around. I thank God, I'm good.
Mheshimiwa Mbui, are you expanding your tentacles yourself? Or you're fine with your area?
If he wants to expand, I can invite him to Kathiani to expand more. Might be interested in a county seat. Personally, I still want to represent the people that I represent.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm comfortable doing that, that I'm used to. Yes.
All right. And Mheshimiwa Mbui, just this morning and last night, there's that story about some disquiet within the opposition, united opposition. You must have seen the sentiments of Jeremiah Kioni claiming that Rigathi Gachagua is working with the government or the administration of William Ruto. And at the same time, some bit of disquiet with Jubilee Party's activities of the weekend. I don't know what your take is on those two issues.
First and foremost, Sam, thank you for having us. On the issue of Jubilee Party's function, there was a church service last weekend where my party leader and the Secretary General of Jubilee and met, and Kioni was very clear that the only people that were invited for their function were members of Jubilee. Actually, he indicated, I think later, that when there's a function they had and then they had people who are not part of their party and it cost them some legal problem. I didn't really get the details, but basically that was the reason behind them not inviting us. And you know, you can invite yourself to a function of a political party that is not your party.
Yeah. So
even though they still remain on paper as part of Azimio, and we are in Azimio too, I don't know, they didn't invite us, so that's why we didn't go. But on the other matter of the cracks that you've said, I would have loved to hear from Kioni. I think he's the only one who can answer some of those questions. I don't know, maybe the next time you host him, you can host me too, so I can hear from him. I wanted to hear firsthand, you know, where he gets the ideas that he articulated so well. I would have been, I'm very curious too, because I have spent a lot of time in this united opposition, and also loyal to the people of Kenya, and have at no time have I seen any indication of the former deputy president making any attempts or in any way looking like he could be working with the government of the day. After all, I mean, I don't know how short-sighted or how short our memories are. That just about a year ago, he was extremely embarrassed in the floor of the National Assembly and the Senate, and impeached, you know, in my opinion, up to now, on flimsy reasons. You know, accusations of tribalism, yet the president himself is even the biggest tribalist based on his actions. And all these, you know, the dust hasn't even settled. Everyone can see, even when he speaks, he still harbors, you know, some you know, feelings, negative feelings towards what happened to him. So for there to be any accusation that he is working with the current regime, I think some of those things are absurd. But I would have wanted to hear from, you know, the Secretary General about those comments.
Right. But question, because when I spoke to your party leader, Kalonzo Musyoka, on Wednesday night last week, he said that you're still in the formative stages, getting to know each other within the United Opposition as you progress towards a coalition building. I don't know if the Jubilee Party is reorganizing itself, and you might have listened to what the former president was saying, in as far as he says he himself will be going on location to popularize the political party itself. I don't know what a stronger Jubilee Party means for the United Opposition, where you have the DCP party leader also saying and trying to strengthen that political party, not just nationally, but more importantly in Mount Kenya region.
Actually, to be honest, Sam, all of us, our parties, we want them to be national. Mm-hmm. But you know, even the team that is the best in the country has a base. And so all these parties have a base, and sometimes the base is based on who is a party leader. Mm-hmm. So that it's important that we move to the place where the parties will be national, will have no tribal connection. But as it is right now, that is still there. I mean, and look at the voting patterns. Look at all these parties. Yeah. There are parties that will win all seats in a certain area and absolutely no seat anywhere else. You know, so that's a normal thing that has been happening. But we want all our parties to be strengthened. We want Jubilee to be stronger. We want Wiper to be stronger. We want DCP to be stronger, DAPK, all these parties that are related to us. But at the end of the day, as we strengthen our parties, we must be careful not to also antagonize each other. Yeah. So that's why I'm wondering, are we really together and are we united? If some of these comments we hear are coming from people that are part of us. Jeremiah Kioni was with us for a long time. I mean, you know, we're in the trenches with him in 2023, after the last election, up to 2024 when the Gen Z movement erupted, and then our partners in ODM went and joined the broad-based government, and so unfortunately, since then he's been missing in action. So when I hear his comments, I'm not too sure where he's coming from, because we haven't spent a lot of time lately. But I do believe that you know, we may be walking this journey together. But then again, Jubilee Party is quite currently currently composed. Yeah. It's one of those parties you can understand, because majority of members of Jubilee Party in the National Assembly have already joined the broad-based government. You know, they are for all intents and purposes just like ODM. They're part of, you know, they're part of a party forming government. So I don't know. And then one or two members still remain in the opposition. So I'm not too sure which Jubilee we are talking about, because there are two Jubilees.
Let's hear the Secretary General and the party leader, then I can hear from Mark Nyamita on what these two leaders said about the Jubilee Party.
We now have a party, we have a country to save, we have a country to rescue. We are part of the opposition. We are in the opposition. And we are there to take over the government next time when it is available.
Mambo hii ya kusema ati chama hii ni ya upande hii, chama ni ya upande hii, chama ni ya upande hii. La, wacha tuwe na national parties ambazo zinaunganishwa kwa sababu ya sera, lakini sio kwa sababu ya pahali ambapo zimetoka. Haja ni nyinyi mjue ya kwamba huyo mmechagua ni mtu ambaye atajitolea kutendea Wakenya wote pahali popote walipo kwa haki, bila kupora na bila kutenga mtu yeyote. That is the only thing that is important.
All right, the Secretary General insisting that the party is still within the opposition. The former president now speaking about political parties should be national. Mheshimiwa Nyamita, what do you make of these sentiments, and also your comments about what's happening within the United Opposition?
Sam, thank you very much, and thank you for inviting me this morning. First of all, I don't know if there is anything that exists called United Opposition. You know, hate cannot bring you together for a very long time. What we see as a group of people talking about united opposition is a group of political leaders united by hate against one particular individual. That can only hold you for a period of time.
United by hate against who?
Against the president.
Okay.
That's my view. that the political caucus that we've seen christening themselves as a united opposition is actually a grouping of people who are united by hate against the president and the progress of this great nation. And that cannot hold for a very long time. No wonder, cracks have begun to emerge. Because look at the individual parties that purport to be united opposition. Possibly the only party that seems to have a bit of structure that has stayed over a period of time is Wiper, where my leader here comes from. Is a party that has been with us for a period of time, but still remains what I would call a village party.
Why would you say that?
Because it still draws its membership from one particular region. And that's a fact. So it's still a community-based sort of a party. If you look at Jubilee, I heard even the president saying that, the reason why he has stayed on this is because there was an attempt to take Jubilee away from him. What is left of Jubilee to be taken? Some. In 2013, Jubilee had about 140 members of parliament. 2017, about 140 members of parliament. In 2022, they had 32. In that national delegates conference, they had 4 members of parliament attending. So when the president, former president Uhuru comes to say that, he's trying to protect a national party, which national party? There is nothing left of that party. Absolutely. Now, you can hear my friend here say that.
Is a political party just about elected members, elected leaders?
Largely, that is an indication, because the first people who show interest is actually the elected leadership. Because otherwise then, it's your elected leadership that actually get an opportunity to even question the government on the day in parliament.
Yeah.
Otherwise then, even if you went to the registrar of political parties, as to the validity of that list, many people, and you've seen some before, that my good friend here is from Wiper. Tomorrow when he goes checking on the list that they were at the office and political register, office of the registrar of political parties, you'll find the name keeps oscillating. We know political parties that used M-Pesa lists to actually enlist members. No. It's a scandal that came, and this affected many other political parties. Many people actually were finding themselves registered in parties that have not. Because tell me, where is a structure that demonstrates a national political party? That's what I'm saying. In what you're calling the united opposition, the only party that has a semblance of structure is only Wiper, which you have seen attempting to open offices in Migori. You've seen them attempting to open offices, or maybe opening, satellite offices across. The only national party then that remains, maybe today as we speak, is the UDA and ODM. ODM, actually celebrating 20 years, has structures, has representation across the nation, despite them not having won the presidency.
Yeah.
But let me say this. For people to come together, my good brother here says that they are still learning each other.
Yeah.
They are still learning each other, because what brought them together was not ideology. That's why they're still learning each other, who stands for what. And that's why there's a difference. And I can predict by June next year, it will have... Because, for example, if you look at DCP, which was launched here with a lot of hype and all the things, has failed to even present a candidate in any of the by-elections, that their party leader came from the US in a half, trying to say, I am going to save the nation, I'm going to present... He has failed to present a single credible candidate. Hate can only take you so far.
Let's listen to what the former president said about what has happened to the Jubilee Party since the last election.
Tumezungushwa na kusumbuliwa. Wachache wamelipwa, wengine wamejiita wakuu, lakini hakuna mkuu kushinda Mwenyezi Mungu, na tumejiona tukiwa hapa. I have both lost elections and won elections, taking each in my stride, learning that in politics, you can never be led by bitterness, anger, or hate. That only deviates you from your mission and vision.
Right. So he said several things, and we'll be sampling some of those during this discussion. But Mheshimiwa Mbowe, if indeed there are those challenges, like Jeremiah Kioni was insinuating on Hot 96 on Sunday evening, and at the same time, what Rigathi Gachagua was saying, I think on Sunday, where he's saying that you're finding some new wheelbarrows that are colored blue, some are green, some are other colors. There appears to be a problem there. How do you fix this? Because you've been together for, I think, starting early in the year. Up until now, you still don't have a structure. How do you sustain that togetherness and amount to something?
Yeah, thank you, Sam. First, allow me to just respond to my friend, Honorable Nyamita here, because he's just made a prediction that by June next year, that the united opposition will break up. Now, I'll say these are formative stages. In the next 1 week or two, the united opposition that will be united, because we are inviting everyone. We haven't yet gotten all those that are interested to sit at the table to agree to work with us. The minute we agree and we announce that these are the people and these are the parties that are part of our coalition, I can assure you that in June next year, there will be no breakup. And, you know, I'm surprised because Mark Nyamita just called Wiper, a village party on national TV. I don't know which village, because I don't know whether the village is Taveta or Voi or Undanyi or Bobasi or the Kisii County or Dadaab or Lamu or Mombasa, where we have members, or is it Machakos or Makueni or Kitui? So I don't know which village, whether all those can be called village, because all these are places where we have members that are elected, you know. So I don't know, but it's interesting that when we supported the ODM party leader in 2013, in 2017, in 2022, we were not a village party. In fact, in 2022, Wiper as a party from the village he's talking about brought in more votes to Azimio than himself and his party's, his stronghold. So I don't know, but I think it's important that we retain that dignity towards our, and respect towards each other. We've been together for, this is now, we're talking 15 political years. Because we should be together up to 2027, though they sneaked out of the coalition and jumped into bed with our opponents earlier in the day. Now, I want to say that we don't actually hate the president, because it says we're united by hate. We don't hate the president. We pray for him. We are very concerned about how he's managing the affairs of the state. That's our problem. It is not personal. It's about how he's managing this country. And we feel that somebody who's got such power is not using it for the benefit of the people, then we have to call him out. Calling out the president on his shortcomings and his excesses is not hate. So we are not united by hate. We hate nobody. Right. We just want to bring the country together. But now on the issue of the cracks that you've talked about, I think we will resolve this, because we are at that time when we are trying to figure out, is our agenda similar? So if our agenda is to save the country, then we'll stay together. But there could also be players that have come in who must be president. And if you've come into this united opposition with the intention that it must be you that we settle on, and we haven't made that decision, and we are going to look at very many parameters to make that decision. So if we find someone who believes it must be them, it's either them or no one, then again, that we cannot say we are united with such individuals. So I think there will be a little bit of push and shove. Currently, I tend to feel there is a possibility there could be, but I haven't confirmed yet. But I've seen certain tendencies of, You know, you know, when you look at body language, you look at the utterances of some of the leaders in that coalition, you can see some who are not very respectful towards their colleagues. And you know, the minute someone shows that they don't respect the others, it obviously means that then they believe they are superior. And I think that's one of the problems they're facing. You heard what happened in some church about a weekend or two ago, when one of the principals, and I don't want to name names, if you can go back to media, you see it.
No, you see, I'm just wondering who that is, because it's either Rigathi Gachagua...
And one of them just said that, you know, me, I'm a worker, and I'm not a politician, I don't just talk, and invited my party leader and said, wacha sasa watu wa story. You know, that's belittling. That was very, very shameful. You see, that's what I'm saying, that we are at that time where we are, I don't know whether that's maybe the modus operandi, maybe that's how, maybe that was in a light touch, I don't know. But we are at that stage where we are asking ourselves, are we really together, you know, to go all the way? And that's why I'm saying this decision will not be made in June. It will not be made in June next year. It will not be made in 2027. It will be made in the next 1 month or so. We must agree. Those of us who are like-minded, we work together all the way. Okay. And those who feel that we cannot work together for whatever reason, they are free to go.
So are you talking about Fred Matiang'i?
No, I said I'm not naming names.
No, you are not very many in that church, but it's fine. I see what
so you can check who are in the church.
I'll get to you, Mheshimiwa Nyamita. I want us to take a short break first, so that also we can come back and talk about it, because the Jubilee Party officials are saying they're still within the Azimio coalition. What remains of Azimio coalition? What does Mark Nyamita think about that? And of course, many other things that are touching on how far we've come over the last 3 years in terms of management of the country and delivery of services. After the break, stay tuned.